thing to help the players is to be calm, try to explain what we need to change. Then we will have time to be angry with them. I think, and I say that today, of course, we didn't play well. First half, we suffered a lot, but I felt some players tired. And when they are tired and trying, I have the responsibility to try to help them, sometimes to change them, and that is my part. So I came before the team because I had Anthony, and I wanted to explain the situation of Anthony, what I need from Anthony to go inside of the pitch. That was the only reason.
Just on Anthony, there's some speculation that he could leave on loan this month. Do you expect to keep him? Do you want to keep him?
Like I said, I want to keep my players. I'm focused on these players. I don't know what will going to happen this window. We'll see, but he did a good job today.
Rob, hi Ruben. Because you've come in this season with no time to train, do you think this is going to be how it is until the summer now? You're up, down, good performance, bad performance, until you can get to summer and actually, have some time with it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard until the end of the season. It's going to be a little bit that roller coaster. Then depend of the time you have to train, and we are still in the cup, and we have UEFA games for Europa League. Then it's important also to focus on next Thursday to win and to try to be in that top 8. In that way, you can take 2 games from the schedule and have full weeks. So we are trying to do everything at the same time. So we had like 7 trainings together in this in 14, 15 games. So it's really hard, but we have to continue and try to win it. Sometimes playing good, sometimes playing bad. We will try to win games.
Thanks. Ruben, I sort of appreciate it's probably the most demanding and intense league in world football, but if the club bring the £50 million midfielder to the club, do not expect that he could be able to play every 3 or 4 days. And talking about Agati, is it not a concern that he struggles to play back-to-back games in a tight space of time? Or is it just something he's going to have to learn to get fitter and adapt to?
The players will get used to that. To do that, I'm trying to be honest with you guys, and I talk about openly about the game, and you are focusing on what I said about Ugarte. Ugarte was tired because he did a great job against Liverpool, against Arsenal, and you see it. Maybe if you look at the game of Arsenal, maybe Ugarte and Bruno were the best players. Yeah, were the best players against Liverpool. They didn't play against Newcastle. I think that happened with all the players here in the Premier League. They can play, but they don't play the same way.
It's an adaptation.
I think so. And also, it's also my fault. Because if you lose the timing of the pressure, if I don't explain well, the pressure is always lost in that, and you feel it today. Mateus was with the number 7 was creating a lot of problems for Manu because Manu was running against 2 guys. So it's more my fault than his fault. He's going to get used to play in 3 days.
Ruben, just wondering, you're talking about the number of games that you've got coming up in a relatively short space of time. You also talked about hoping to keep certain players. Is it difficult to prepare for those games in the transfer window, not necessarily knowing who will still be here at the end of the month?
No, of course we have some. They are players they are our players, so we have control on that. We decide on that. Sometimes it's harder for the players because they have some information, and sometimes and you can feel it in every team in any summer. It's like that. So for me, it's harder to prepare the games when we lose. When we win, we can manage everything, expectations, bad mood for some players. So we'll prepare the game in the same way. I'm just focused on the next game.
Paul.
Is the lack of time at Carrington one of the reasons why you've struggled a little bit when it comes to set pieces? Because another goal from a corner today, is that something that you want to work on and get better on?
Everything. But today it was like it seems like a simple header. So sometimes you are in the moment that everything is against you, but then in the end things change. We managed to win, but of course we need to improve. We play against the best team maybe in the world with set pieces. We did a very good job, and like I explained to your colleague, that this season is going to be like that, and we have to improve in all the areas of our game.
Last two, Pete and Fred.
Hi Ruben. Are you concerned by Rasmus Højlund's lack of goals recently? He's no goals in 8 now, and not only that he's not getting the goals, he's not really getting as many chances as he had.
I think it's a team problem, and you can see it is not just from now; it's from the past. So we have clearly a lack of goal and a lack of threat. When you threat the opponents maybe don't press you so high. So everything is connected, and all the players have moments in this season. I think when we start this journey together, Rasmus was the player that always scoring. So he can come back in the next game. We will see. But I think it's more a team problem than Rasmus' problem.
You were talking about investigating the reasons behind not being able to play the same level as against Arsenal and Liverpool games like this. Now we have Brighton. Do you think that maybe it's because this squad might be built or a better fit to be reactive and transitioning than taking the lead in matches?
I think this is something that you can see from the past, and we were in the past a team of transition, and we still are. And you can feel it. To create chances in the final third, we struggle a lot. But for that, I think is the most. I said it before the game. Is the most difficult moment to train. Is that against low blocks, trying to create situations. So I think is a team that feels more joy to play, waiting for the play, and then in transition creating problems. So it's something that we have to change. To change, we need training. So to have time to change, also we need to win games. We try to do that.
Yeah, I think he wants more calmer wins than the one that we saw against Southampton. I mean, let's be clear. 81 minutes on the clock. Southampton rock bottom of the table, and it looked like they were going to get the better of the Red Devils. And then Diallo steps up with 3 goals in 12 minutes. It was a sensational finish to the game.
It was, and I think it was interesting because Southampton had their chances. There was an opportunity where Onana had a double save within the game as well. Fernandes should have scored, and Manchester United have conceded so many goals on set pieces. It's unbelievable from corners. But I think it wouldn't have surprised me last night if Manchester United hadn't. Anthony has to put that in the back of the net, by the way. It was a terrible miss. But I think it wouldn't have surprised me last night, just because Manchester United got results against Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City. It wouldn't surprise me if Manchester United didn't drop points last night. I don't know why. I'm not getting carried away. As a team, I follow obviously Manchester United, but I think the way that Manchester United won that game, that's all that really matters. And I think there's times where like Ahmad has been on the bench quite a lot under Ruben as well, and he's had to bring him on, but he's been brilliant. I mean, a hat-trick, pressure in. Ramsdale has to do better there. Shouldn't be playing out the ball out the back for me, but Southampton have done that all season. Even under Russell Martin, they did that.
Yeah, I think if Southampton could finish, they'd have won by 2 or 3 goals.
They look better though, don't they?
They look much better under Juric, absolutely. Yeah. They look much better, and they just need that composure in the final third. But what did alarm me about Manchester United is what worries me ahead of Brighton, which is that they turn up for the big teams. If you look at the last 10, 11 games, they turned up against City, they turned up against Arsenal in the FA Cup, they turned up against Liverpool because their fans demanded it of them.
Then Wolves and Bournemouth, no.
Wolves, Bournemouth, Newcastle, they were slaughtered at home. And you look at Brighton, they've lost 5 of the last 6 against Brighton. And I think as far as Brighton are concerned, with the players to finish those chances that they will create, I can see this being another home defeat. Now, the question has to be, why can't these United players in midfield, at the back, get the same level of desire and hunger and organisation that they had?
I'm with you. It's perplexing, really. And, you know, Amorim did say after the Liverpool and the Arsenal games that, OK, that's fine, but the pressure is now more on these players for Southampton because there's an expectation there, which there wasn't maybe against the other 2 games in the Cups, right? But to come off with losing every duel for a lot of that game. De Ligt came on the programme when I was covering that match, and he said we were losing all our duels. They were intense.
Yeah.
But the question is why? Where was the desire and commitment that should have been
it's
there?
difficult because it was only a few days ago they had that desire and commitment, but I'm not making excuses, but there were changes within the team. Harry Maguire, I think, has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, and a player that's really redeemed himself and come back from those tough moments. And Euro started in that game. So there's a few things. I like Ugarte as well. I think he's got something. He reminds me of Ander Herrera when he was at Man United. But I do think, Ruben Amorim, for me, no doubt, is the right person, because for the first time in 3 or 4 years, I'm seeing Manchester United having a pattern of play, what they're trying to do. People might look and think, why is Ahmad playing fullback? In that wing-back position. But I like what Ruben Amorim is doing. Manchester United had no identity for 3 or 4 years. And you will lose games, no doubt.
Would you worry for them if Ahmed was injured?
Yeah, I do worry for Manchester United, but it's not, like I said, Ruben has him on the bench against the big teams for some reason. Now, I know coaches love to have an impact player coming off the bench. Manchester United, these players, I think Ruben is maximising them. They still need to get better players. These players, I've no doubt within the next kind of couple of years, they won't be there, a lot of them, because Ruben will bring in players that fits his style and system.
One of those players, where there's a question mark over their future, Alejandro Garnacho, who started in the game against Southampton, consecutive games now for him, and he's not had that luxury this season. He's been linked with Chelsea. Darren, can you shed any light on this?
Yeah, Chelsea like him. They like his skill set. They like his versatility. He can score goals. He's had his issues with Amorim, of course, who called him out as being one of the players that he felt didn't meet the standards that he'd set for the club since his arrival. I actually think he will go to Napoli. Napoli are hugely interested in him. They've got another player from Manchester United, Scott McTominay. He's helped them to get into and stay in the title race in Italy. And I think they'll actually win that title race as well. Garnacho, around about £45 million, I think he's going to go there.
You think he will?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow.
I don't like that, I know we've got to move on, but I don't like Garnacho moving on. It's so quickly, and he's been at Manchester United his whole life.
He has, yeah.
Since moving to England, has anything surprised you? I know a lot of people don't like our food and our weather.
I think the weather is something that you feel in the beginning, but I really enjoyed your country. I really enjoy it. I think also it's different for me than for my family, because I'm always here working in this dream club. They will adapt and we will be very happy here.
Outside of football, have you got any personal interests or hobbies?
Simple gym, kickboxing, but I spend a lot of time with my kids. Go to school, pick up. It's really important for me to be present all the time.
Family man, that's great.
Yeah, it's
so
important.
What about the kickboxing? So how long have you been training?
Yeah, well, I stopped for a while. In the last year in Sporting, I didn't have the time. It's hard, the training, but it's really good in this profession to have something that you can push and then you can relax.
Who's one Premier League legend that you wish you could have played alongside?
Cantona should be fun, but I was a midfielder. I would love to have played with Roy Keane. He does all the job, and I can focus on playing with the ball. But I think it would be fun.
So you let Roy do a lot of the running, a lot of the tackling, and you'd start the plays, right?
Yeah, that would be good.
If you could master any skill, not sports related, instantly, what would you choose?
I would like to speak any language. That was really a good thing. It's really important for a coach to transmit the message. It's really important you to speak any language.
We know you worked with Mourinho. You were his apprentice at one point in your career. How special was it to work with the special one?
It was special because more than the trainings, the time during lunch, speaking about the way he engaged with the players, the experience in different clubs, winning titles when he lose, everything was really important to understand the whole idea of being a coach.
So you asked him lots of questions?
Yeah, all the time. Even today, trying to connect with him a little bit.
Ruben, what's been the proudest moment of your career so far?
I think winning the first league at Sporting as a coach. I think was really important for me. After 19 years without a title, was not my club as a young kid, but I think it was the proudest moment as my coach career.
Obviously, you're a former player yourself. Which one teammate from your playing days do you think you learned the most from?
That is a hard question, but I really like to play with Pablo Aimar, Argentinian guy, really smart.
He was a number 10, wasn't he?
It's a number. It's like a number 10. It's like a third midfielder.
Yeah.
Like a false 9 could be a great position for him. Was a top player with a lot of injuries, but was like a special player.
I remember Pablo Aimar. He was a good
Aimar.
player. So was it always football? If I could make you choose, what other job you think you may have done or may have been good at?
I didn't have plan B. So that is really hard to say. I will follow sports. I don't know how you call it here, like a teacher.
Yeah, teacher.
A teacher.
I think you'd make a good teacher.
Sport teacher. I don't know the name here.
Maybe a lecturer.
Yeah.
If you could travel back in time and give some advice to a younger self, a younger Ruben, what advice would you give yourself?
I don't know. It's really hard to so much. The lottery numbers, maybe.
That's exactly what I would do. And of course, you're now here in Manchester United, managing at the Theatre of Dreams. What is your dream as Manchester United manager?
It's simple. It's to win the Premier League. More than anything. I just want to help this club. I felt a great connection with everybody here. It's a hard thing to do, to be confident in this moment, but we are really confident, and my dream is to win a Premier League in our stadium with our fans after so much time, with a lot of problems. Winning again, I think, is the best goal that we can achieve.
Amazing. Ruben, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You know what, that's so interesting, him trying to master languages as a skill. If you could master any skill in the entire world, what would it be?
I'm saying languages, though.
Yeah?
You just copied Ruben Amorim.
See, I
know what you said.
Keep it real.
To be fair, he did say it before Amorim did say it,
Okay, cool.
to be honest.
This is why you're my guy.
Mate, that's why I'm coming again. I'm coming again.
It's funny though, isn't it?
What about you, Liv? What would you master?
I actually think I would like to be like a film writer. If you could master having the vision and the imagination to be able to write films and to be the writer, like a creative writer. Like someone that, this is a really bad example, but imagine the In-Betweeners is hilarious. Like the person that wrote that.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? I think I would like to have the creative brain.
I like that. I would
love to songwrite.
I would love to be able to make stuff. I'm like the worst at DIY. Do you know what I mean? Like nowadays, you can go to a shop, buy like a.
I can do IKEA flat pack furniture.
No, but can you make a bed? That's the difference.
What about people that made planes, like those people?
Engineers.
Yeah.
Right on. Exactly that.
That would be unbelievable.
Okay, well let's talk. As we're talking Manchester United anyway. What about Ahmad, the hat-trick? Talk to me about this kid. Because also, this is the only man since Amorim started that's really got Manchester United out of jail so many times.
They were 10 minutes away from losing 1-0 to Southampton at Old Trafford. And to be honest, they could have been 4-0 down if it was their bad finishes. But how good are those finishes? He has single-handedly got them out of jail. He's also single-handedly saved my FPL team as well, which is thank you very much, Ahmad. But what I find the biggest thing about this situation is that for the whole of Eric Ten Hag's time at Man United, he had that player.
I know.
He had that player. What was he not seeing?
Football's an opinions game.
Sometimes I know, but how can you not see?
But also, don't underestimate the ability for players when there's a new manager to want to prove something.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing right now, because Anthony was also on the field.
He never got one chance under Eric Ten Hag, not even one.
Guys, we can talk about this all day. We've got to move on. Anyway.
Now, that was really interesting, and that's been one of the features of his interview since he's been in England, is he's almost disarmingly honest. And he talks about Amad Diallo at 22. He doesn't have to step up. He's got more senior players around him who should be doing that.
Yeah, he almost seemed a little reluctant to be overly kind to, I think, Amad Diallo tonight, which maybe is just his way of managing it. You know, maybe privately there'll be more confidence given to him, because I think tonight he did show what he was about. And age isn't always a relevant factor, but age can be a reason why, younger players don't consistently step up. I think he's right in that everyone has the same requirement.
Yeah.
But it feels like Amad Diallo is the one who too often is that person for Manchester United when they do find a way to get a result,
Yeah, it was interesting that he chose to say that there is still room for improvement from Diallo, after the highs of just literally scoring a first senior hat-trick. Is he just trying to keep his feet on the ground here?
No, I think his feet are on the ground already. I don't know why I would say that, because he's the one that did grab the game. He's the one that did grab the initiative. Nobody else did. So he said, obviously, the other players could, but nobody else did.
he's the one that said, right, I'm going to make something happen here. So they were very fortunate to have him out on the pitch today, Amad Diallo, because he's the one that turned that result around, virtually on his own. And I know Xerxes and Eriksen, they had moments in the game, but it was Amad Diallo that came to the rescue, and that's why everybody hugged him like he was
this
Father
saviour.
Christmas. Yeah, he was.
Father Christmas.
Look, he was a saviour today, and and he deserves all the praise. And everybody should be praising, even the manager.
Yeah, and talking of the manager, for Ruben Amorim, that's 10 Premier League games he has now managed since he came from Sporting Lisbon. In that time, he's picked up 3 wins, 5 defeats and a draw there as well. So, right, 2 draws actually. So, how do we assess the first 10? Did we expect more from them at this stage?
I think we did, yeah.
Much more?
I think because of the success that he had at Sporting, I think we expected he'd come in. But, I mean, maybe that is a little bit naive. He's changed the formation, changed a lot of things. But 3 wins in 10 is probably not what anybody envisioned. So let's say they're a work in progress. And they're probably going to look a lot different in the summer. But right now, I still think everybody's adjusting to playing this 3-4-3 or however you want to call it. And